Imagine a world completely stripped of modern screens, books, and endless digital distractions. How did our ancient ancestors survive the crushing silence of empty prehistoric afternoons? Was boredom a dangerous luxury, or did it actually spark human creativity? A single spark of restlessness could drive a weary tribe to absolute madness. When the daily hunt ended, a vast empty void stretched out before them. With stomachs full, the primitive mind needed something new to chase. Our story begins in a quiet woodland valley during a hot summer afternoon. An elder hunter named Oru watched the younger tribe members grow increasingly restless. Without a task, their minds drifted into dangerous, unpredictable moods. Oru decided to introduce a simple challenge using nearby river stones. He picked up a flat pebble and tossed it across the quiet surface. The stone skipped twice, breaking the monotonous silence of the valley. Instantly, a younger hunter named Elan rushed over to try it himself. His first throw failed completely, sinking straight to the muddy bottom. Oru laughed, showing that even the simplest act required deep skill. Soon, other tribe members gathered around to watch this new game. What began as a simple distraction slowly turned into intense competition, but stone skipping was only the beginning of their creative spark. As night fell, the dry cave walls offered another blank canvas. A young woman named Cara picked up a piece of charred wood. She traced a rough outline of a running animal on the rock. The simple drawing brought the dark cave to life with stories. They began sharing tales of past hunts, reliving their greatest moments. Yet drawing could not fill every hour of the long seasons. When winter arrived, outdoor activities were completely cut off. Trapped inside for weeks, the threat of cabin fever grew real. To ease the tension, Elan started carving a piece of bone. He carved small holes along the hollow tube of the bone. He blew into one end, producing a sharp, echoing whistle. The strange sound startled the entire tribe out of their silence. He quickly refined his breathing, creating a gentle, rhythmic melody. Cara began to clap her hands in time with the music. Soon another hunter used a hollow log as a drum. Music transformed the cold, gloomy cave into a lively hall. As the seasons turned, their thirst for novelty only grew. Physical challenges became a major source of group entertainment. They tested their strength by grappling in the soft grass. A cheering crowd gathered, betting small trinkets on the winner. The reward was often just a highly polished stone bead. These minor rewards added real stakes to their playful games. But as games grew more competitive, simple disputes began to rise. Oru stepped in to establish the very first rules. He drew a clear square grid directly into the clay. This layout allowed them to play a strategic board game. Each player took turns moving their pebbles to block the other. Mental strategy replaced physical force as a way to win status. Yet even board games could lose their charm over time. They needed to seek out more dynamic and active pursuits. One bright morning, Cara noticed a group of wild animals. A small pack of prehistoric horses was playing near a stream. Their joyful movement sparked a bold, creative idea in Cara. She decided to mimic their energetic bounds and playful leaps. Her friends quickly joined in, creating a wild, expressive dance. This physical expression helped release built-up stress and anxiety. But play was not just about dancing and wild leaps. He challenged another hunter to a race to the top. They dashed up the rocky slope, slipping on loose gravel. The race was dangerous, but the adrenaline rush was unmatched. Such reckless challenges pushed their physical limits to the edge. In the evenings, they turned to mental exercises and riddles. Oru would describe a mysterious object with simple clues. The youngsters took turns guessing, trying to outsmart each other. A correct guess was met with loud cheers and applause, but their environment offered more than just stones and sticks. Cara discovered that dry reeds could be woven together. She fashioned a simple, lightweight toy ball from the reeds. She tossed the woven ball gently toward a nearby friend. He caught it with both hands, laughing at its lightness. This marked the birth of their very first ball game. The simple game kept them active and focused for hours. But as games grew popular, the need for organization increased. He used the shells to keep track of individual scores. Scorekeeping added a whole new level of competitive pride. Sometimes, play took a far more practical and useful form. Target practice turned a critical survival skill into a fun challenge. The best marksman received the honor of leading the next hunt. As the tribe expanded, they met other wandering groups. Instead of fighting, they decided to share their favorite games. The visitors were amazed by the simple yet engaging toy. They quickly organized a friendly match between the two tribes. This friendly contest helped build trust and prevent future conflicts. But entertainment also had its dark, risky side. Some thrill-seekers tried to provoke dangerous, sleeping predators. The goal was to poke the beast and run before it woke. This reckless behavior often led to absolute life-threatening chaos. Oru strongly banned these dangerous games to protect the tribe. Instead, they focused on safer ways to test their bravery. They constructed a simple rope swing over a shallow creek. The rush of flight brought immense laughter to the young watchers. During hot summer days, swimming became the perfect escape. They leaped off high rocks, splashing down with massive grins. In the water, the worries of survival briefly washed away. Even simple mud could be turned into a creative playground. They molded the wet clay into tiny figures of animals. These tiny sculptures became characters in their elaborate stories. Through imaginative play, they developed deep language and narrative skills. Yet the transition to autumn brought a new kind of quiet. The falling leaves offered a simple but beautiful visual chase. Each caught leaf was celebrated as a minor stroke of luck. But as winds grew colder, the focus shifted back indoors. This winter, they decided to combine their music and games. They invented a rhythmic game of passing small hot coals. The goal was to pass it before the music stopped playing. If the music ended, the person holding the coal had to sing. Elan stood up and sang a loud, playful hunting song. These warm cave gatherings built an incredibly strong tribal identity. But as years passed, the simple games began to evolve. They began to carve complex animal shapes from soft wood. These toys were highly prized by the younger tribe members. Oru observed how these playthings passed from child to child. He realized that play was the best way to teach cooperation. Soon, other adults began making more elaborate toys. The toys prepared children for the harsh realities of adult life, but the elderly found their own ways to pass the time. They spent hours tracing paths and mapping the surrounding valley. These simple dirt drawings became valuable tools for the tribe. Even on the quietest days, there was always something to watch. They observed the swirling patterns of migrating birds in flight. They tried to predict which way the flock would turn. As night fell, the starry sky offered the ultimate mystery. They began connecting the bright dots to form stellar animals. This became the absolute foundation of their seasonal mythology. Yet human curiosity was never quite fully satisfied. He noticed that striking two flint stones produced bright sparks. He tried to direct the sparks onto dry wood shavings. With a gentle blow, a tiny, bright flame emerged. The discovery of starting fire became a fascinating group activity. They began experimenting with roasting different wild plant roots. The rich, sweet smell of roasted food filled the campsite. Their playful curiosity had accidentally revolutionized their entire diet. But as winter approached again, the ultimate test was coming. This winter was the coldest they had ever faced. Trapped deep inside, the mood grew incredibly quiet and dark. To save the tribe's spirit, Oru gathered everyone together. He suggested they combine all their favorite winter games. They staged a massive, day-long indoor festival of play. The music and laughter echoed through the snowy valley outside. The long, freezing winter passed in what felt like days. When spring finally returned, the landscape was vibrant green. The tribe emerged stronger, happier, and more united than ever. Their simple distraction of skipping stones had unlocked human ingenuity. Boredom was not a dangerous threat to be feared. It was the ultimate catalyst for human art and culture. Without those quiet, boring prehistoric afternoons, who would we be? Our ancestors chose to fill the silence with beautiful creation. They played, they sang, and they dreamed of tomorrow. Every game we play today carries a tiny piece of their ancient spark. The next time you find yourself with absolutely nothing to do, remember the ancient hunters who conquered the silence of the caves. They turned empty, boring moments into the very foundation of human civilization.